July 22, 1991, police enter a small apartment in Milwaukee. What they find inside shocks the world. Body parts in the freezer, skulls in the closet, photographs too horrifying to describe. And the man responsible? Calm, polite, almost proud. His name was Jeffrey Dahmer, the serial killer whose 1992 trial exposed the darkest corners of the human mind. You're watching Crime Lens, where we uncover the truth behind America's most chilling crimes. To his neighbors, Jeffrey Dahmer was quiet and shy, a man who mostly kept to himself. He worked at a chocolate factory and lived alone in apartment 213. But behind that door was a nightmare no one could imagine. Dahmer's crimes began years earlier. Between 1978 and 1991, he murdered 17 young men and boys, luring them into his home with promises of money, drinks, or friendship. Once inside, they never left. Greater than, when police entered Dahmer's apartment, they found a refrigerator filled with human organs, photographs of victims in disturbing positions, and a large blue drum filled with acid, used to dissolve bodies. It wasn't just murder, it was cannibalism. Dahmer admitted to eating parts of his victims, saying it made him feel like they would always be with him. Greater than, he said it calmly, without remorse. Greater than, in January 1992, Jeffrey Dahmer stood before a judge and a nation in disbelief. He confessed to everything: 17 murders, necrophilia, and cannibalism. His defense argued that he was insane, unable to control his urges. The prosecution claimed he was evil, but fully aware of his actions. Over weeks of shocking testimony, jurors heard about how Dahmer drilled into victim skulls, tried to create living zombies, and kept trophies from every kill. Greater than, the details were so disturbing, people fainted in the courtroom. On February 15, 1992, the jury reached a verdict. Jeffrey Dahmer was found sane and guilty on all counts. The judge sentenced him to 15 consecutive life sentences, over 900 years in prison. As the sentence was read, Dahmer simply nodded, expressionless. For him, it was over. But for his victims' families, the pain had only begun. In prison, Dahmer was a marked man. Some inmates wanted revenge for what he'd done. On November 28, 1994, that revenge came. Dahmer was beaten to death by another inmate with a metal bar. His killer later said, "God told me to do it." Greater than, the Milwaukee monster was dead, but his story would haunt America forever. Greater than, Dahmer's case changed the way America viewed serial killers. It forced society to confront hard questions. How could someone live like this in plain sight? How did police miss the signs? And how many other monsters walk among us, hiding behind normal faces? In the end, Dahmer's story isn't just about horror. It's about how evil can wear the calmest smile. Evil doesn't always hide in the dark. Sometimes, it lives right next door. Do you think Jeffrey Dahmer was insane, or just pure evil? Drop your thoughts in the comments.